Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Darren Karp, and on the line with me now is Below Deck's new chief stew, Heather Chase. How you doing, Heather? Good to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. This season has been fun so far. Of course, always drama with you guys. You never seem to stop that from actually happening. How was the charter season for you overall, looking back on your time?
Overall, I'd have to say I loved it. Every charter season, you kind of leave learning something new. And I truly had a blast. I got to love each and every crew member and each and every charter guest. So, all in all, I'd say it was a pretty great experience.
Well, Captain Lee is the captain of our hearts, and he joined the boat a little bit late. Do you feel like things went smoothly with Captain Lee?
I truly do. I've grown to love Captain Lee. This reminds me of the first time I walked in the bridge, I was so expecting to see Captain Lee. So when I saw Captain Sean, I stopped and I felt like someone had punched me in the stomach. And I remember looking at him being like, "You the first officer? Like, where's Lee? You must not be the captain." And when he was like, "Hi, Captain," I was like, oh my God, thank God I didn't say that out loud because that would have started us off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, I think someone thought, one of the chefs thought on Below Deck Mediterranean that Captain Sandy was like a sous chef, and that did not go over well. So best to keep those opinions to yourself. But Heather, you are the chief stew. You really run the interior. And it seems like although you and Fraser are very, very close and he's a fantastic worker, you're having some problems with Jess. What's going on?
You know, Halfway through a charter season, a lot of people hit a speed bump. You're exhausted, your emotions are high, you're kind of tired of doing the same repetitive thing. I witness a lot of crew members go through what I call this mid-charter season funk. And really right now, Jess is kind of in the middle of that. She can't decide whether she wants to be here or be with her family. Like, we all have a lot going on in life. I think especially since the pandemic, we really know what's most important to us. And I think Jess right now is just caught in between two worlds. And ultimately, she's kind of got to make her own decision of where her happiness lies. I think she's just in a mid-charter season funk. And, we'll see how she can pull out of that.
Because it did seem like she was so excited initially. I mean, to your point, maybe all of you guys are, everything's new, you're back on a really nice yacht. But her performance has really hindered a bit. Do you think that kind of going in that funk has really affected her performance mentally as well as physically?
I definitely think it's affected her mentally and physically, but also let's not forget episode 1 when Jess had told us she's only been a solo stew. So throwing in 2 other interior crew members, having someone above you, it throws in a whole different wrench to the mix. She's used to being her own leader, handling the boat. And now when you have 2 other crew members and a lot more to achieve and more guests, it's basically starting a whole new career. So I think it's just a massive learning curve.
No one likes splitting their tips from all the years I've watched it Below Deck. No one likes splitting their tips, but despite difficulties with Jess and the winds, blowing multiple items off the boat, last week's charter was overall a success, complete with an 80s themed party. I'm always impressed the kind of parties you guys can throw together in the middle of the ocean. At this point, we're feeling like the rest of the charters would be smooth sailing, or did you think you kind of had some work to do?
I think we go into it hoping every charter is smooth sailing. And at the same time, we always know that there is some work to do and ways we can do better. If anyone thinks that, we've got this in the bag, you are already set up for failure. So, it's a little bit of both there.
We've seen a number of chief stews and, they all have their own idiosyncrasies, their own little things. How would you sort of describe your style of management as a chief stew?
Oh, that is a great question. What is my style of management? I don't even think I truly know how to properly answer that question because realistically, it's just approaching everything day by day. I feel like I take on the role of the boat mother. You're not only a manager, you're also there to make sure the crew are comfortable, the guests are comfortable. Like, we give a lot of our lives up to work on the water and we miss holidays. I'd say the management style is somewhere between your boss, your best friend, and your boat mom. You want to be able to play and wear all 3 hats. So it's not like any other management style at a restaurant on land or, someone who runs a Target. It's a very different ecosystem, really. So it takes a lot of different types of management style.
To your point, I mean, the way you might treat your crew certainly is going to be different than the captain, but it also might be different than the charter guests. And it seems like there's going to be a lot of guest drama this season on Below Deck. How do you sort of handle difficult charter guests? What's kind of your management style there?
Well, at the end of the day, these people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to be on a yacht. So you never want to use the word no, and you never want to rein them in. You never want to cut them off from drinking. You don't want to hinder the holiday that they've looked so forward to. So how do you handle them? With grace, a smile, and maybe a little more vodka, because then they'll calm down and go to bed.
Can you actually answer this for me? Because my cousin's a big Below Deck fan. And, you know, she texted me, she's like, this is unreal. She was like, if I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars and had a private chef and everyone catering to me, you'd see me eating like disco fries at 4 a.m. and sushi at 3 a.m. And we never seem to see this. Do they just not film these charter guests eating the disco fries? I mean, come on now. I would be ordering a lot of junk food at night.
Oh my God. I mean, as we just saw Rachel making that kid those chicken fingers, I had some of those were the best chicken fingers of my life. And I would totally order those at 1 a.m. after all my 1942. You know, it definitely does happen in the season. It happens on any charter yacht. You get that one drunk guest who wakes up in the middle of the night, but if they're, you know, if there's not a lot of storyline surrounding that, it's not going to make cut.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. I just want to make sure they're ordering the disco fries, that they're actual human.
Oh yeah, disco fries, waffle potato fries, truffle fries are probably the most frequent we see on a boat. I mean, who doesn't love a good truffle fry? And right, you got to soak up the booze to kill the hangover in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Did you have a favorite charter this season?
Ooh, I have a favorite charter this season. I had a bunch. You know what? The Weiss family that we just had on board were incredible. They were so much fun. Actually, during the casino night, we all played a game together with the crew, and they were just very inclusive in their experience. And that was so memorable. And a couple of the charters coming up were some of my favorites. You know, stay tuned. We might be having a vowel renewal. We've got some really great charters coming up. We have a booby party. We've got a lot of things here on the table that are just very unforgettable moments. I'm very grateful for some of the guests we had this season, and not so grateful for some of the others.
How could anyone forget a booby party? Come on now. How could anyone not want to have that? When you look back at your time on the season, is there anything that you sort of wish you had done differently if you could kind of go back and do it over again?
You know, I think there's a lot, whether it be some ways I handled some of the charter guests, some interactions with the crew. You know, as the season comes to an end, a lot of that'll become clearer to all of you and the viewers. We all have areas and things we regret and wish we'd done differently. But at the end of the day, as long as we've learned our lessons and we take accountability and move forward, that's all we can do in life, and hope to do better next time. And I think that's everyone's goal with the new season ahead.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Every charter kind of brings that new beginning too, of learning about mistakes. And after the stress of a charter, the crew definitely likes to get loose. And boy, did you all. After dinner, Jake and Fraser got exceptionally drunk, no surprise there, and ended up making out. All of this, of course, after Jake's naked swim. I really wish I was chartering the boat at this time. Were you surprised when this happened?
Was I surprised when this happened? No way. I mean, I think the crew were all very lovey and all over each other, and it was bound to happen. You could see that entire night. There was snuggling, kissing, kind of the energy was definitely there. It just took a couple more shots for the action to step in.
The interesting kind of wrench in this is at the end of the episode, when you showed Fraser footage of the steamy makeout, he kind of freaked out a little bit, thinking he had ruined his friendship with Jake, who's straight. Do you think he was overreacting, or do you think it was kind of the proper reaction for the time?
No, I mean, I think everyone's entitled to their own reaction. And I truly could see that Fraser was just worried. You know, Jake truly is the love bug of the boat, and we all truly appreciate his friendship. And I could just tell that Fraser really hoped he didn't do anything to ruin that friendship. So, I mean, it was like oh God, what did tequila do now? And like, we don't want this to be awkward. I think Fraser has his own experience that he'll share more about as the season goes on.
Well, you guys definitely work hard and play hard. And I got to say, I feel like overall the season hasn't had too much drama between the crew members so far. You're all seemingly getting along very well. That doesn't usually mean good things, though, in upcoming episodes. Can we expect that to change, and why?
Just stay tuned. Stay tuned to watch the steaminess. Stay tuned to see who goes for who, and who the ball starts to roll downhill. Will it go back uphill? Let's keep watching.
The winds will whip and blow. But speaking of that, there are always some sort of boatmances on Below Deck. I know that you have a boyfriend, but Jake has been trying to set up Jess and Wes. Do any other boatmances start to form, Heather, that you can kind of tease for us?
Look, when you put a bunch of yachties on a boat and they work long hours and they
Good
drink,
looking ones
it's
too.
only bound to happen that people are going to hook up. I think you're going to see a couple more kisses here and there. Who from? Stay tuned.
Interesting. Well, Heather, thank you for being the cheap stew of my life. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time today. Thanks again.
Thanks, guys.
People, you can catch new episodes of Below Deck every Monday at 9, 8 Central on Bravo. We have to take a quick break. More reality check after this.